experience of working at Amazon UK Services Limited. Was working in a warehouse. The warehouse is called rather CWL1. It is based in Swansea, and it's basically just a logistical role that I was doing. I know the general term is warehouse operative, but you would mostly likely be allocated to a particular department, and that would be sorting inbound, or it could be packing, or it could be picking, or it could be shipping. But my experience is mostly in packing and also picking. And you are given training for the role, so you are basically assigned to somebody who is your buddy, who shows you the job, who shows you how to use the handsets, or if you're a packer, how to follow the instructions on the screen, how to pack goods according to their size, their weight, and their materials, or if they are soft or if they are hard items. So typically, for example, if it's a book, you wouldn't have to necessarily use a lot of, you wouldn't have to use like a big pack. But if it was like, for example, a case of drinks, some computer that had a lithium battery, you would have to use a box that matched the size, and you would also have to attach a lithium label that informed the customer that this parcel had a lithium battery, because obviously lithium batteries can be flammable. And my experience was that I was ultimately, if you follow the screen, the instructions on the screen tell you everything. So they tell you what type of box to use, what labels to print, and ultimately then it's just a matter of you putting it in a conveyor belt, and off it goes to the shipping department to be sent off to the final customer. And with picking, you would have to use a handset, and it would just guide you to the location of the product. So inevitably you would have to familiarize yourself with the warehouse, because it wasn't like a sat nav. It didn't direct you by giving instructions on if you're working in the right location or not. So you would have to follow the signs. Obviously the warehouse has signs all over the various locations and flows, so it's, as long as you pay attention to that, after a while, it might be a bit daunting initially, but then you get used to it, and you familiarize yourself, and you can become reasonably efficient in the process, because obviously you're working long hours. You're doing a minimum of 40 hours a week, and during peak periods at Christmas you can work anything between 50 to 60 hours a week. And obviously the benefits about working there is that you are paid slightly above the national minimum wage, and if you go above the 40 hours, you get 1.5 times your standard hourly rate, and if you work over 50 hours, you get paid double your hourly rate, and the maximum you're allowed to work any given week is 60 hours, so you can't go beyond that. And if you do, you could face disciplinary procedures against you, so just be mindful of that. But overall, you get the training, you work in a relatively safe environment, you earn above the national minimum wage. So I would say, compared to other jobs in logistics, it's a very good job to go for, particularly if you're a student, or if you're somebody who wants to earn a good amount of money, particularly during a festive period, because that's when Amazon, it's typically at its busiest. So would I recommend it as a job? Yes, I would. I think the benefits outweigh the negatives. And particularly if you're new to the world of work, Amazon doesn't look for extensive skills or experience. So it's ideal for somebody who's fit, healthy, strong, and ready to work, and ready to do anything to get into the job market, and start earning a wage, and start to feel start to gain that experience on what working is like, because there's always going to be targets, there's always going to be responsibility, and there's always going to be expectations for you to deliver, regardless of where you work and what your role is. So give it a go and let me know Would you consider working on Amazon, or have you worked there? Share your experience in a comment. Thank you.